This past spring, the automotive market experienced a peculiar phenomenon. Car dealerships buzzed with an unusual sense of urgency, a palpable energy that filled showrooms and lots alike. The atmosphere was electric, a stark contrast to the quieter months that often precede the summer season. Buyers rushed to dealerships, eager to beat looming tariffs that threatened to inflate prices across the board. There was a sense of urgency in the air, a feeling that time was running out. These tariffs were primarily focused on imported vehicles and parts, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the future of car prices. The potential impact on consumers was significant, and many felt compelled to act quickly. The underlying fear was simple yet powerful. It was a straightforward calculation: buy now before the tariffs take effect, or potentially pay thousands of dollars more later. This fear of increased costs drove many to make immediate purchasing decisions. Dealerships experienced a sudden and unexpected boom in sales, a surge that caught many by surprise. Salespeople found themselves scrambling to keep up with the overwhelming demand, working long hours to assist the influx of customers. The pace was frantic, and the pressure was on. But this surge in sales wasn't necessarily a sign of genuine economic confidence or market strength. In reality, it was largely driven by panic buying, a reactive response to the impending tariffs. This artificial spike in demand essentially pulled future sales forward, concentrating them into a few frantic weeks, leaving a void to come. As summer arrived, the tariffs finally took effect, and the anticipated price increases became a reality. Almost overnight, the market went eerily silent, a stark contrast to the bustling activity of the spring. Car prices jumped across the board, reflecting the impact of the new tariffs and creating sticker shock for potential buyers. The earlier rush had left a significant vacuum in the market. Those who had the means and the inclination to buy a new car had largely already done so during the spring surge. This left a significant portion of the market priced out, unable to afford the now inflated costs of new vehicles. The affordability crisis, which had been simmering beneath the surface for quite some time, finally boiled over, reaching a critical point that could no longer be ignored. This revealed a market facing real and significant challenges, a situation that demanded attention and a strategic response. The spring surge, therefore, wasn't a genuine sign of a healthy and robust automotive industry. Instead, it proved to be the last gasp of air before a sharp and potentially prolonged downturn, a chilling reminder of the market's underlying vulnerabilities. As of July 2025, the landscape of personal transportation has undergone a dramatic shift. The dream of owning a new car, once a symbol of freedom and upward mobility, is rapidly becoming a distant memory for many Americans. The primary culprit? The staggering cost of new vehicles. The average new car costs over $50,000. This isn't just a slight increase, it's a monumental leap that's reshaping the automotive market and impacting household budgets across the nation. That's more than many Americans take home in a year. It's a harsh reality that's forcing families to reevaluate their priorities and make difficult financial decisions. What was once a middle-class staple, a reliable and accessible means of transportation, is now increasingly perceived as a luxury item reserved for those with significant disposable income. Used cars, once the affordable alternative for budget-conscious buyers, now average $31,000. Even pre-owned vehicles are commanding prices that were unheard of just a few years ago. That's prices that recently bought a brand new sedan. The value proposition has completely shifted, leaving many potential buyers in a state of disbelief. For many, reliable transportation is slipping out of reach, creating a significant barrier to economic opportunity and social mobility. Outside cities where public transportation options are limited or non-existent, a car isn't a choice. It's a necessity for work, a lifeline connecting individuals to their jobs and livelihoods. It's essential for family, enabling parents to transport children to school, activities, and appointments. And it's crucial for daily life, facilitating access to essential services, groceries, and other necessities. Now, people face impossible choices, weighing their needs against their financial realities. They must take on crushing debt, committing to years of payments that strain their budgets and limit their financial flexibility. Or they risk everything on an aging, unreliable car, constantly worrying about breakdowns and costly repairs that could further destabilize their finances. The stress is real, the anxiety of potential breakdowns, the fear of unexpected repair bills, and the constant pressure to make ends meet, Old cars break down, leaving people stranded and disrupting their lives. New ones are unaffordable, seemingly out of reach for the average working family. And wages can't keep up, failing to keep pace with the rising cost of living and the ever-increasing price of automobiles. The American dream feels distant, a fading aspiration for many who are struggling to afford the basic necessities of modern life. It's as if cars are behind a velvet rope of unaffordability, a symbol of status and privilege that's increasingly inaccessible to the masses. For millions, the road to opportunity is blocked by sticker shock, a stark reminder of the growing economic divide in our society. Buy American sounds like a simple, straightforward solution, a way to support local industries and boost the national economy. It evokes a sense of patriotism and promises a return to simpler times. But the reality of modern car manufacturing is far more complex than a catchy slogan. The automotive industry has evolved into a vast, interconnected web that spans continents. Tariffs, often presented as a tool to protect U.S. manufacturing and jobs, have inadvertently raised prices on nearly every car available on the market today. These added costs impact consumers directly, making car ownership less affordable. And this price increase affects vehicles, no matter the brand, domestic or foreign. Even iconic American vehicles like the Ford F-150, a symbol of American ingenuity and manufacturing, are built from parts sourced worldwide, with transmissions coming from Mexico and sophisticated electronics sourced from Asia. Tariffs imposed on any part of this complex international supply chain inevitably drive up costs for everyone involved, from manufacturers to consumers. Even electric vehicles like the cutting-edge Tesla Model Y, which are often touted as the future of American automotive innovation, heavily rely on intricate global supply chains to bring their advanced technology to the road. This includes sourcing crucial components like batteries and specialized electronic components from various corners of the globe. So, a Made in the USA label on a car doesn't necessarily shield you from the impact of global price hikes and economic fluctuations. Both American and foreign automakers alike, regardless of their headquarters or branding, are deeply intertwined and rely on the same network of international suppliers for essential parts and materials. The unfortunate result of this complex web is that every car becomes more expensive for the average consumer. Ultimately, no one, neither manufacturers nor consumers, is truly insulated from the powerful forces of the global economy. Therefore, the seemingly straightforward and patriotic solution of simply buy American ultimately can't fully protect consumers from the realities of a tangled, deeply globalized market. The myth of economic isolation has been definitively shattered by the undeniable reality of rising costs across the automotive industry. With prices soaring, buyers are stretching loans to 72, 84 months or more, just to afford a car. Lower monthly payments hide the reality, thousands more paid in interest over time. Rising interest rates make these long loans even riskier. Many end up upside down, owing more than the car is worth for years. An accident or job loss can leave families with debt and no car. Trading in becomes a trap, rolling negative equity into the next loan. The short-term relief of a lower payment is traded for years of financial stress. The fallout is clear. Auto loan delinquencies are surging nationwide. More families are missing payments, risking repossession and damaged credit. Serious delinquencies, 90 days or more past due, have surpassed pre-pandemic levels. It's not just subprime borrowers, even those with good credit are struggling. With $1.6 trillion in auto loan debt, the risk is systemic, not just personal. Lenders, from big banks to local credit unions, are feeling the strain. For many, the car is a lifeline. Losing it means lost jobs and opportunities. The rise in missed payments is a warning. The affordability crisis is tipping into a broader economic threat. The dominoes are falling, and the impact could be felt far beyond the car market. The crisis isn't just hurting buyers, it's shaking the entire auto industry. Automakers like Ford and GM are slashing forecasts as high costs and slow sales bite into profits. Even electric vehicles, once seen as the future, are piling up unsold on lots. Production cuts mean layoffs and lost shifts, hitting workers and suppliers across the country. Local dealerships, often community pillars, are struggling to survive as sales dry up. The pain ripples out. Mechanics, car washes, and local businesses all feel the squeeze. Tariffs promised more jobs, but instead, they've created a toxic mix of high costs and low demand. The industry isn't being protected. It's being choked by policies that made cars unaffordable. This isn't just an auto crisis. It's a warning for the entire U.S. economy. The auto industry reflects the health of the American consumer. When people stop buying cars, it's not about preference. It's about lost confidence and shrinking budgets. The same pressures, stagnant wages, rising costs, mounting debt, are hitting housing, education, and groceries. The car market is just the most visible sign of deeper trouble. Tariffs and quick fixes have only made things worse, fueling inflation and uncertainty. Ignoring these structural problems is like taping over a check engine light. The stress on households could easily spill into a wider recession. We must heed this warning before the whole system breaks down.